This is WGRT 100.5 FM, where we meet the absolute minimum FCC broadcasting standards. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but to talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and City Alderman Keith Gannett. And yet nobody, and I mean nobody, and blah, 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 like these guys do.
And good Friday morning. You're listening to WGRU 100.5 FM in Geneseo. Let's talk Geneseo. The boy for 3 weeks. So the boys are back. Brandon, good to see you again. My broadcasting, they're still talking about the live remote in Chicago with the nice interaction we had with Aldermanic Brethren. And then last kind of like a fishing, pretty of a personal weekend up in Wisconsin.
I was watching you in Town Acres and a dock up in Manifest Waters, Wisconsin. So it was nice to be on the other side of the stream.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you, it's nice to have you, though, back with us this morning, Mr. Brand. But a full show today. Very full. And we're just going to kind of go right over to you and get the familiar and favorite. You know him as Mr. Chamber.
TV, what's up?
There you go. Morning, Zach.
You talk about big time. Let's do State Street Market, right?
Oh, look at that. He is so good.
We don't even need to ask this guy. Just let him be.
Sure, I got 5 minutes, so I'm going to start right now. Go. This weekend is State Street Market in downtown Geneseo. It is the 10th annual State Street Market event. We're really excited about that in the chamber. For any event to last a decade, I would say it's quite the milestone. But this event has proven itself time and time again driver for our community, for every business in the community, regardless of chamber membership, regardless of location. If you are a restaurant or retail, or even a service-based industry is getting exposure from the thousands of people that we're expecting in Geneseo tomorrow, we are expecting a crowd of approximately 8,000 people, and given the weather forecast, it might be a little more. It's going to be a usually we're dealing with cooler weather, maybe a little bit of a rain threat. We're actually bringing out a cooling tent for the event tomorrow because we're looking at a forecast in the high 80s, which is actually warmer than any of the music festival days in June this year. So we're going to have a cooling tent thanks to our friends at the Geneseo Police Department and the Henry County Office of Emergency. Help people cool off a little bit during tomorrow's market. But we have 60 curated vendors who are going to be set up in downtown Geneseo tomorrow. And these are the best of the best of the Midwest. Some you've seen at State Street Market before. Others are new to the market for the first time. And then, of course, we have a lot of great food trucks. We have, I think, coming in for this. Snazzy's Lemonade, Cousins Made Lobster is going to be back. That was a big hit at Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. We have Top That, we have Pat Lee's, we have Uncle Bud's Apple Slush, which is excellent. And then, of course, Geneseo staple at our community events, Kettle Corn. So we have all this great food that's going to be there. Entertainment. We have Bugs Benson playing, as well as Paxton Shervine and Chloe. So it's a great event, and it really kind of brings the community together. It's our official fall kickoff, even though it feels like it's summer right now, which I'm not complaining about. I'll take nice weather anytime when it comes to coordinating an event. But come one, come all, this is a shopping event for you, the listeners and the viewers on TV 50, to get an early start on your Christmas shopping. This is an opportunity for you to support local small businesses because all of our brick and mortars are going to be open as well. And even without State Street Market happening, our brick and mortars lineup in downtown and throughout Geneseo, that rivals any shopping district, any. And so not only do I encourage people to come and support our brick and mortars, but if you need to cool off, what better place than to go and stop inside of a local small business, cool off, and maybe you're going to find that right something somebody catches. We are halfway in my 5 minutes. How about that? All right. Well, I want to give a shout out to a lot of our volunteers. Something about these events, these crazy teaser events that we do, is these are not events that you just flip a switch and you push play and you go with this whole thing the next day. Months of planning are involved. Months of promotion are planned to go along with these events, right? All the planning in the world, but you either have a bad event or if you're not bringing people out, you're not hitting your mark. So we're really careful and mindful about the moves we make to put on these events, especially when it comes to curating what kind of vendors we have, the presentation, the promotion of the event. We have this great group of volunteers, not only in the committee, but people who will be tomorrow as they load in and helping to coordinate the day of operations. You know, I couldn't be prouder of this group and appreciative for their efforts. Other than that, you know, man, this is my 7th State Street Market already. You know, I kind of can't believe that I've been here already for so long. But, you know, it kind of gets to be a matter of routine at some point. Kind of work with new volunteers sometimes. They're like, "Oh, we got all this stuff. We got all this stuff," and I'm just like, "First time." And, you know, that's all you can do about it. Is the goal is always to have an event ready to go 1 week prior until 1 week prior to the event. So all you have to do is put out little fires, and that's, I would say, the approach that we take as a chamber for all of our events. So come out tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in downtown Geneseo. Other events coming up, we have Scarecrow Row happening on October 25th, and we are adding the Halloween dog costume pageant in partnership with the Humane Society of Henry County and Geneseo. That's going to be at 11 o'clock at Scarecrow. We encourage people to come up and participate in Scarecrow Row. And then Christmas Open House, that's the kickoff for the holiday shopping season on November 14th, followed by the 2025 Geneseo Christmas Walk. All the announcements and information for that event are coming out on Sunday. So look out on Sunday. After State Street Market, we're going to make all of our Christmas Walk announcements online. And we can't wait for the Super Bowl of Geneseo community events, the Geneseo Christmas Walk. But first things first, we got a State Street Market to run tomorrow.
Yeah. Just wild. There's the chamber in the city doing a lot of Christmas planning.
Yeah.
Can't believe that. I just don't know.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of going fast, there is my time. So that is my piece. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Let's Talk Geneseo. I'd like to thank our hosts for putting this on. Thank you guys for everything you do in the community. And then, of course, the next host, the next guest coming up, listen to them. Go watch a Storm hockey game sometime and manage your finances, because he'll take his care of you. He's a good guy, and I couldn't be more appreciative of Mark's support at the chamber as well. So thank you guys, and we'll see you at 6th Street Market this weekend.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. Nobody gets more out of 5 minutes than Zach Brandon. So
Big time. Yeah, and a big shout out, to the chamber board and volunteers, like Zach said, too, as well as the Geneseo Police Department and the city staff. They put a lot of effort into making sure that these events go out off with the hitch in downtown Geneseo. So we're switching gears now. Right on cue.
all is right in the world. All is right.
Good to be back.
Welcome, Mark.
Good to be here. Good to see you. That's Mark Dravichowski, Quad Cities Investment Group, joins us this morning. We also have Brian Brockenberger here, president of Quad City Storm Hockey. Brian, thanks for being here as well. Oh, he's got.
And I'll turn your mic on.
I didn't take that first. Thank you guys. It's good to be back.
We had you here, was it about a year ago?
I think the exact same week that I think we were talking to State Street Market. You know, it's hockey season. It's fall. It's a good time.
We're getting predictable on it. And
just a little bit of a shout out. Brian, in the Quad City Storm, has really kind of become almost a friend to Geneseo. And obviously, Geneseo, big sporting community. And just like last year, Brian was gracious enough to for hockey tickets, raffles off to one of the high school students. The winner was Zoe Bond, I believe, was the grand prize winner of the 4 tickets. Brian also, just like last year, has brought Radar, their mascot, and Radar currently near the front door, greeting students, taking photos and selfies, and we even got some good photos of Radar answering phones. He does it all. He does it all. Checking attendance. Yeah. Just again, Brian, thanks so much for all you've done over the past year or so, and it's great to have this relationship with you. I could not agree more. We appreciate getting to come out here, and we know we get a lot of support from Geneseo, so we are very happy to be here.
Yeah. Keith, you got to get here early in the morning.
Yeah,
That's all the excitement.
Love for Radar.
you know, your special accents limits you on something that's exciting.
I suppose so. But yeah, we'll make it over to theater camp someday, and we could go to the front door lunch.
There you go.
The interaction out there. We'll put that on the list.
Put it on the budget.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, we'll get started with before we turn to hockey, some of the updates in the financial world here. Despite all the concerns over tariffs and the trade wars we continue to see out there these days, we're setting all-time highs in the stock market. So what's driving this market now?
Kind of been a weird year in the stock market. When you think about it, you kind of go back to mid-February. Trump initiated all these tariffs and trade disputes. The big concern on Wall Street was, okay, how is this going to impact inflation? The inflation soaring through the roof. What would happen with consumer and business spending? What would happen with the labor market? With the economy going to a recession? Based on all that uncertainty and anxiety, we see this big pullback in stock markets from mid-late February through the first couple of weeks of April. But then what we saw is more and more economic data comes out that says, you know what, this economy is actually holding up much better than expected. Consumer and business spending still fairly strong. Inflation kind of at around the same level in February when these tariffs trade disputes started. Corporate earnings have been strong, and everything's just kind of holding in much better than Wall Street originally thought back then. Also, corporate earnings continue to remain exceptionally strong, and then over the last couple of years, we've seen this continued push towards artificial intelligence and all these big mega tech companies. To think of, Microsoft and Amazon and Google and Nvidia, and whether they technology or ultimately they're going to be the end users of this AI technology. Their stock prices have surged. It's kind of taken the rest of the stock market along for the ride. So a bunch of factors, but hey, at the end of the day, we're breaching new all-time highs. It seems almost the last few days. So,
Yeah, we were looking at some our retirement 457 plans with some plays yesterday. People weren't disappointed at this point. But is there anything that even with some of these returns coming in nice, that does get as we look to the future?
As I said before, overall, we've got a fairly strong economy, but for me, kind of a potential weak link is the labor market. You look over the last 3-4 years, we kind of had this gradual softening in the U.S. labor market. Now, the unemployment rate's gone from 3.5% up to 4.3%. But look, unemployment rate of 4.3%, in my opinion, certainly not a sign of doom labor market. Since 2000, the average national unemployment rate is around 5.7%. So again, at 4.3%, it's not a sign of severe distress in the labor market, but it is softening. And, that's kind of what I'm looking at. On Wall Street are also looking at is, currently at 4.3%. Hopefully it doesn't kind of get into the realm of 5%. And, if it does, I think that may raise some cautionary flags for the stock market. But so far, Wall Street seems comfortable with the 3%. And again, day after day after day of new all-time highs. So just kind of go along with it.
Then probably the biggest question on people's minds was the government shutdowns. What are we on, day 3 now?
Yeah.
How is backing the investments that are by
Not really. Look, to be honest, I mean, these have been going on for years and decades now. And Wall Street kind of views these events more of a political event rather than an economic event that's going to impact the economy or the stock market. I mean, since Tuesday, when this kind of kicked in at midnight, we've had back-to-back all-time record highs. And looking at my cell phone this morning, we were set to put up even higher. So into 30 days plus. Yeah, I think Wall Street may become a little bit more concerned that overall this may start having a little bit more of an impact on the economy and thus the stock market. But so far, Wall Street doesn't seem to be concerned.
All right. Well, good for Brian. And one time,
Did you really, Keith? I told Keith to. Excited.
Well, I don't mean to disappoint, but we do not have any intro music for Brian. That's on the list too. That's on the list.
We've got some.
I got to put my time in to get my. That's fair. It's more than
Right. And things go slowly here. We set that low threshold. But even with that, we don't want to rush in.
well, we'll turn our focus to Quad City Crossing now with Brian again. And, so what, season kickoff is October 18th coming up here pretty soon.
It's coming up very soon. That is Saturday. The following Saturday, we will be taking on the Peoria Rivermen for opening night, which is always my favorite game of the season because it could not be higher. We have not done anything, nor has any team in the league done anything to give anybody any doubt. It's just a very fun night, fun to get back in the building.
And a big rivalry game.
Big rivalry game. It is the only game we play and Peoria plays that weekend. So most weekends we have a Friday. There's home road combination of both. This is welcome back. We got one game, win it, and get ready for next weekend. So it should be a very fun week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any big players, new players, or returning players that fans will be looking forward to this year?
Yes, absolutely. Back, he has been with us now for 4 seasons. He was the second leading scorer in the league last year, and is back for another season to hopefully do that again or move up to number 1. To be great options. Our captain, Tommy Seacos, is back. He is the only player that has been on our roster since 2018. He has been a part of every Storm team. So great to have those guys back amidst what is mixing in a very young cast. A lot of new faces, which is very exciting for us. Players coming from all over. We continue to have a pretty good European influence with coaches playing backgrounds. We have a Danish player, Swedish player, a couple of Russian players coming up this year. So it's going to be a very fun team. But I think especially early on, a team with a lot of guys trying to prove they belong here, which makes for some entertaining hockey.
Oh, yeah. No, last year, guys did make the playoffs.
We did.
But unfortunately, I think we got lost in the first round. It was to the big rival, Peoria Rivermen, which is the rubber match on October 18th on Saturday. So
it was a very interesting playoff. And now my memories are, we were the 7 or 8 seed. They were the 1 or 2 seed. And the way the playoffs go up in the SPHL, it's a 3-game series. So there is no time to blink. You win 2 games, you move on. And the series was set to go first game in Peoria, second game in Quad Cities, back to potential game 3. And the first game was on my birthday. And I rarely, with my current role, get to watch a full game, which is really for the best. Because I'm a diehard sports fan. There is not a team that impacts my mental and sometimes physical well-being, certainly my emotions, in the Storm. And I can kind of remove myself and not get fully into all of it. That was not the case with this one. It was a road game, so I did not really have to look too much. We piled the office in the cars. We went, our friends, I can say we do have some friends in Peoria, in the front office, got us kind of a suite to watch the game. It was we went up 4-1, feeling very good about ourselves. Peoria came back and tied the game. They took the lead in the third period, 5-4, and Leif Matson, who I mentioned earlier, scores with a quarter of a second left in the game. It descended to overtime, and then we lost in overtime, which for investing into a Quad City Storm game full
You talk
time.
about the ultimate high, literally tying the game up with a quarter of a second left to end.
I had not fully recovered yet, but then it was tough going to game 2, lose at home, knocked out first round. But a lot of new faces here. Coaching staff realized some changes needed to be made. Some fresh blood needed to be brought in certain areas, and so now we're going to see this team come together and hopefully move out of that first round of the playoffs.
This kind of this discussion here about bringing in. I kind of want to go into a little bit more of the insight, and I think it'd be fascinating for a lot of our listeners who are sports fans to begin with. But how does the process, obviously, Quad City Storm, minor league hockey team, how does that process of acquiring players in your office similar? How is it different from what people might be familiar with, the major league, the NHL process?
It's a great question. The biggest difference and what makes us a little bit unique, you hear all the time at the paper that this player got signed to a 5-year $1 contract. I will say, of course, our players are not making those millions of dollars, but they are also all really on 1-year contracts. And less than that, really, there's movement throughout the season, up and down, but you pretty much have them while you have them. At the end of the seasons, you have your 21, 22. The coaching staff can circle 13 guys on that roster, and that's called the protected list. And what that means is other teams cannot talk to those guys. The hope is coaches will talk to these 13, get them back. It becomes kind of your core of players. Players retire, decide they want to go to a different league, you name it. Then it is the coach's job every year to find 5, 8, 9, 10 other players to bring in. For training camp, even more. You can have up to, I think this year, 30. I'm not as plugged into the hockey side in training camp as I should be, but to bring those guys in to fill those holes every offseason, which is a lot. And that is kind of the cliche, but there really is no off season. Coaches probably get a month or two, and then they're right back to, all right, well, that season ended. Let's start figuring out what next season is going to look like. So that's the biggest difference from a recruiting standpoint. Again, because this is the minor leagues, there's of cash moving all around. The city, the amenities mean a tremendous amount. We are very fortunate to be in the Quad Cities, to have tremendous fan support, a great arena, to have outstanding housing. That makes the Quad City the for these guys. I mentioned fan support. It alarms a lot of guys when they show up sometimes who have played other places. I'm sure those places have great fans, but when they're shopping somewhere, the fans recognize them by name. That's the level that they're not used to, and that's what we have, which is very fun.
Well, what's their scouting process? It's like, obviously, with an NHL team, they've got a slew of scouts. And piles of money to send these scouts all over to watch different games and such. How do you guys target identity recruits that you may want to sign in the offseason?
The first level is probably within the league. All teams should have around 20 guys, and they protect their 13. That means there's 7 or 8 available. And throughout the year, coach goes, hey, we've played this team. This guy wasn't very high on the point sheet, but I did. Maybe we bring him into camp. There is also one of the things that makes the SPHL unique is just kind of the tightness, having not a ton of teams that, hey, I have a friend who I played college with. He's graduating this year, wants to play pro, and they bring him in, watch his film, and sometimes that's all it takes. But much like the higher levels, there are agents and scouts and you name it that are calling your coaches all the time, saying, hey, we've got this, 6'7", 245-pound defenseman in Belarus that we think could be good for it. If you can pay for a plane ticket, he'll come. Right? Let's give it a shot. So it's all unique, but similar to, the off-season, the firing of the roster, similar but different from everything that happens at the hierarchies.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Tell us about some of the promotions coming up this year. I think you mentioned the arena and some of the excitement that brings fans in.
Sure. Well, we tend to get shot out of the cannon this year with promotions. I think that, and really kind of speak for the rest of the season. Opening night, as I mentioned, just the hype around that game, first time back at the building for fans, I love. If you have never been to a, that is the one. It's kind of cliche, the first one of the year, but we do that. People win you back for a few more. The next week, October 24th, Friday, is our wrestling night, which has become a fan favorite for us. After the game, SCW Wrestling, which is a local indie wrestling group that is unbelievable. The Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in Quad City. They set up a full-size ring and do a full-on wrestling show after the game in the conference center. It is a huge hit. Their fans come to the game. Our fans love it. And we have in our locker room, when we win, the players pass out to whoever they think had the best game. It is full size.
That's awesome.
I'm not a wrestling guy. I want to say Big Jewel, but it's not really the right. It's unbelievable.
But it's a fun.
It is a very fun.
It's going to say it'd be Daz.
Yeah, right. We got 1,000 fanny packs made that look exactly like this. Away the first 1,000 fans at wrestling night, and then the following weekend, November 1st and 2nd, Saturday, Sunday, ironically, our Halloween game. Dogs can come to the game. We encourage dogs to wear costumes and kids to wear costumes. It's a 2:00 start on a Sunday. After the game, it's with the players, which is always one of the highlights of the year. The Saturday before, we were the first ever minor league hockey team to host a Hot Wheels night. And we've got custom Hot Wheels jerseys. We're having a car show in the parking lot pregame. We're going to have 50 to 100 cars there. Who was watching it has a car they'd like to bring for $40. You get 4 tickets. We have a Hot Wheels mechanic shirt that's being given away. You get to have your car there, and the winner be featured on social media and get $250. That weekend will be a blast, and that's just our first quarter.
Nice.
What are some of the more popular ones? Do you still have Star Wars?
We do. We do. That is a staple because that is always a hit. We have Stormtroopers, and I think Chewbacca is a wiki or something like that. The whole game, Star Wars jersey. We have a big scroll on the video board. It's like the Star Wars. My verbiage for Star Wars is equally as weak as my description of wrestling belt, but that's a great one. Our salute to military night is always a huge one of get for active duty military and veterans. Hockey Fights Cancer night later in the season will be back. Those are some of the ones that our fans continue to really embrace, in addition to some of the fun new family-friendly ones that we mix in every.
Yeah, you got a big mix of fantastic promotions. What's the biggest challenge? Like how do you know what type of promotion would work or it doesn't work? Is it you guys just all kind of huddle up around the table and just kind of bounce some ideas off the wall? You kind of explain the chaos behind that.
It's a great question, and that is our off season. We talked about the coaches looking for players, finding that. I'm pretty confident, more time than any other team in our league working on our promotional schedule because we've seen so they bring in new fans and converting those fans to season ticket members. We do exactly that. We meet for about 2.5 months, and we go on kind of an every other week full team meeting basis, and then break up into smaller groups to tackle certain nights. And we cover the staples that we want to bring back. I mentioned Fleet Cancer at a Hockey Town QC that we know we want to bring in. We throughout the year might have someone reach out, say, hey, we could do this night. It's a post-game concert, something like that. We find ways to fold those in. And then we just kind of keep our ear to the ground. I learned last year about Bluey, who I did not know what Bluey was.
We love Bluey.
I had never heard of Bluey, and I quickly learned over the span of a month that Bluey is like the most popular thing in the world. So we reached out to Bluey's people, and Bluey will be here December the Storm game. Doing pictures, all that kind of thing throughout the game. It's actually a very interesting post Christmas. Of course, we have Christmas on the 25th. The 26th, our Winter Classic game, which is another one of those staples. It's also a dollar beer night. And then the 27th, New Year's. So something New Year's game as well. But in addition to the things we do best, keeping the ear to the ground, the best ideas are stolen sometimes. And we are not afraid to take and make better another team's promotion, and have gotten pretty good at it.
I gotta ask, just kind of out of curiosity here, that's just kind of thinking of some questions when we're here. Has there ever been a promotion that maybe you partook of, or it was maybe some other minor league hockey team that you thought that it was a great promotion, but it absolutely blew up? It kind of reminds me of the Turkeys Away episode, the WKRP in Cincinnati.
We've had a couple. Two come to mind. One, I'm not going to go into detail on. It was not us.
The attorney's still up.
It was not us. It was a team.
We're still a pal here, like.
They had the promotion, and I'll tell you, it involved. Someone thought it was a good idea to move under the X. Probably find an article about that somewhere. The one we did that was, it had some good, it had some bad, it had some ugly. If you think back to the flood several years ago in downtown Davenport, some people might remember the catfish guy. There was all pictures of him walking around with this giant catfish. I was downtown at my now wife's apartment going to see her, and the elevator came down, and there's catfish guy standing right in front of me. I'm like, "Are you catfish guy?" "Yes, I am." People were buying him beers. He was very popular at the time. I gave him my car and was like, "Hey, man, we'd love you to come. I don't know what we're going to do, but just come." But it's actually we got a hold of him, and we decided to have a catfish throwing contest on the ice. And so we got 3 whole catfish.
It's all good.
But we found out when we ordered them, they showed up frozen. So the morning of the game, we had 3 frozen. We should have left them frozen, but for some reason I thought we needed a thong. So we threw them in the players' showers, turned them all on hot. It smelled terrible. We brought Catfish Guy, Radar, and another mascot out on the ice. I had them throw catfish. The crowd went nuts. Unfortunately, catfish juices got all over everybody. There's people puking, getting out the ice. I still look back very fondly upon that. I didn't get catfish juice out of it. That's one that sticks out as being one that could have been maybe executed a little more.
Catfish.
See, where were you?
I don't see it. It's in hindsight. I can consult. There you go. Well, one more reason to go to the Plant City Storm games, because you just never know. The actions on the ice, play the ice, and what have you, but bluey, catfish, probably won't be bad. But all sorts of good things coming on with the Storm.
That kind of reminds me when we do turkey mulling from time to time, and sometimes when you use the real turkey and the juices escape, while you're anyone who's never mind.
Not ideal.
Yeah. One thing I did kind of want to cover, just for everybody out there, the community, a lot of people know about Inspire Continuing Care. Absolutely fantastic organization in our community, works with many special needs young adults. Spoke with Brian. We're going to have Inspire Continuing Care go to a hockey game. I think it's February 12th. Yep. It's a day game. They're going to be up in the storm shelter, which was kind of a elevated area. Radar is going to be there. But tell our listeners just a little bit more about these special seating venues for whether it's birthdays, whether it's corporate events.
I would love to do that. We offer tons of suites, what I'll call mega suites. And one thing I think people don't often realize, for and whether it's 10 people or if it's 150, 1,000, you name it, we have options. We have great suites and party areas. Those can provide kind of elevated hospitality experience, ranging, as I mentioned, from 10 up to really 150 people. $35 a head. which is a great viewing experience. It is anyone who's been to Vibrant Arena knows the hospitality there is first class. You can upgrade that. We have catering options that are all inclusive that are less than $100 a person, which that includes food, alcohol, you name it. It's a great way to team clients, thank your staff. That's something we've seen a huge uptick of, is just bringing the office out to the game, and that goes a very long way. And then too, just general tickets, having season tickets for throughout the season, being able to send an employee somewhere as a thank you for somebody. Great asset. And again, I think what really makes the Storm unique is we offer that experience at a time where it's hard to find those things. When it's 10 degrees outside, there's not as much going on. There is Storm hockey going on. And so I would encourage anyone who is thinking they might have a fit for that, call our office, go to all kinds of information on that. We'd love to see how to.
Yeah, we've done 2 city employee Christmas parties at Storm games in the past handful of years.
Awesome.
Always a good time to sometimes break out of Geneseo and go do something outside of town. So
That's awesome.
But you weren't at this thing.
no, I really wish that would have been the party twice after hearing that story.
It was a night. It was certainly a night.
Well, Mark, Brian, appreciate you guys being here this morning, and hopefully come back in 2026 and we'll talk about
I'd love to. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you guys.
And we'll work on the walking music too.
Thanks.
Yeah. If you have a preferred song for Mark,
I'll
make sure we get
that in the
that.
email next year. I'll get something creative.
Actually, I had come up with a recommendation.
Boy,
But we'll see.
This after
Give me a 1-year team.
it's got to be something about
Yeah. There we go. All right. Well, with that, I guess we could probably plug in this one, unless you have anything quick, Brandon, that we need to add.
I don't think so, It's
Yep.
the best way you can support the local economy, local business owners, local restaurants. Come on down. It's going to be a nice day. Bring your friends from the Quad Cities. As far as city council business, we don't meet again until October 14th. So for those who follow the gap in between meetings rather than 2 weeks up. So be back Tuesday the 14th at 6 p.m.
And hey, if you're out Tuesday night, Brandon and I will be making a presentation to the clients.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me.
Yes. So
that.
make sure you get that to Chris.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And I'm sure that won't, it won't quite be the memory of the catfish event at the storm. But,
And the presentation is actually on what inspired Geneseo.
actually, that is something. All right. Well, all the Kiwanis members are just extra excited. Looking forward to it. That will plug here for this edition of Let's Talk Geneseo. We appreciate you tuning in. And this is WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo. Have a safe week.